Hello and welcome to an Everquest guide for a level 100 Enchanter. I'm going to call this Boxed Enchanter because that's how I'm playing it, and I do plan on having guides for a normal Enchanter that you're main playing, but this is mostly a Boxed Enchanter guide and how I play my Enchanter, so this can be up to complete interpretation of how you want to play it, but this is what I do. Alright, so we're going to go over what spells I have memorized and then some of the hot buttons I have. So first up, we're going to go with nukes. These are what I got for nukes. This is what I'm using right now. These are all multi-bind down here. 2, 3, 4. It's like, what's going on? They're all multi-bound down here on the 4 button. I have a hotkey or the hot bar itself. I think it's hotbar 6. Everything's bound to 4. So I push 4, they all activate in whatever order is available. So just going through these, Mind Scythe does 12,000 damage. Oh my god, really? Alright. Mental Apparition, rank 2, does 7,000 damage and then reflects mana back to the group. How much mana? I don't know, but it does 7,000 damage. Mind Cleave, this one does 20,000 damage, and that's it. This one does 8,000 damage, and this one does 12,000 damage. Chromaclast and Mind Scythe, and I kind of, it's just that's what I do. I just nuke is all I pretty much do with my Enchanter besides crowd control. So it's pretty simple. I do have Clarity memorized. I don't know why right now. Mislead, this is the level 92 mez. I don't think I haven't used a single target mez in a while, so there might be an upgrade to it. I just didn't notice it. Let's see here. Enthrall. Confounding. Yeah, Mislead is the last one that I see. There might be another one in here somewhere. I just don't see it. Flash is totally useless spell. But this mez is up to 98, as it works for me for the most part. I mostly use this one here, Slackening Wave, which is a targeted AoE mez, and it kind of plays more into my playstyle as a Boxed Enchanter, because my macro for it is attack off, right? X target 1, which is my tank right here, Holdridge. You can't see his model because I have models off. And then I cast 8. So it then, like here, we cast it on him right now, right? See how it hits like over here? So that's a pretty big AoE range, right? And it's based on him, not based on my position. So like way over here, it still hits it. You can barely see the particle effects. And I typically do that because if it's 1, 2 mobs, I'm going to tank it. I'm not going to single target mez it most of the time unless it's like a named plus an ad. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to do the AoE mez like 99% of the time. And it doesn't seem to have like a really long cooldown, right? See, 5-second recast time. So that's not bad. It does get resisted, but not enough to worry about. I also have the Lull, if you will, does up to 100. We haven't gotten the new ones yet. From 100 to 105, we will get new ones. It just makes pulling easier, but paladins get that spell, so it's kind of duplicated, so I don't really need here. I have a dot memorized. I don't have this in my rotation because it would just drain my mana. I mostly manually cast these dots on named or anything with lots of hit points. So I can just cast that on there and forget about it. And I can come back to them. Umbral Auspice. Now, I usually haven't been casting this spell, but I started reading the descriptions again, and I think this is a pretty good spell to cast. Places a threshold rune on your target that will absorb 75% of the incoming melee damage in excess of 12,000 damage, up to 38,000 damage total. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, so if I get hit for 13,000 damage, 1,000 damage will, 75% of that 1,000 damage, so 750 damage, will be absorbed, decrementing from this 38,000. So this, effectively, from what I understand, if this is what my understanding of the spell is correct, this normalizes hits for the tank. So the tank gets hit for, 12,000. It's not going to do anything. Tank gets hit for 13,000. It's going to help him out. So to normalize those excessively large hits. And if we can go ahead and cast it real quick. All right. On my macro, I got Azure Mind Crystal, and then I cast the rune. It's got a 20-25 second recast time, so it's not terrible, right? Like it's something I feel like I would want to keep up on all the time. Like just for those large hits that are, mostly named fights, right? So I keep that up. And then I have 2 auras. Enchanters can have 2 auras up at all times. So I have Mastermind Aura and Twin Cast Aura. Mastermind Aura increases mana and endurance regeneration. So I always pretty much keep that one up. And Twin Cast just gives a % chance to Twin Cast. This is from level 84. I should probably try to see if there's a rank 2 or 3 of this and go get it. I try to keep that up at all times just because it does add up, right? A little % here, you get a lot of extra damage. So these are the majority of the spells. I don't even change them hardly ever, right? This is just what I have going, and this is what I use. Hide Corpse is just a macro to hide corpses, and forage. All my characters forage. My assist button here is just X target 4. So in all my videos I explain this, but my extended target window is the same on all my characters, right? So Holdridge is 1, the Enchanter is 2, the Druid is 3, and then Holdridge's target, because he's the main assist, is 4. So X-Tar 4 will target that target when he targets it. So if I go over here to Holdridge, I target Combat Dummy Aza. You can see it pops up over here for him, over here for me. Now, I don't have to do a /assist character name, right? I just do X-Tar 4 because I know X-Tar 4 is going to be that assist. And you just go like this, right click, and you pick like group assist, target. You can pick raid assist targets, all kinds of different things. Your my pet's target, my mercenary's target. There's lots of options you can do. This is just how I do it. And then I have a pet attack and a cast 2, which is just a nuke, because I couldn't get this macro to work without the cast 2. Like it wasn't multi-binding correctly, so I did that. But if we target this, actually 4 is just gonna auto target it. So let's target, what level is this thing? This is level 100. So all right, yeah, we have the Beza one targeted. So if we hit 4, we're gonna switch to the one that he has targeted. You see our pet fly over there. He's got levitate. And now we can just chain cast all our spells. Just go here. See, so everybody got the mana burst. There we go. Mind cleave. And if we go to spell damage, right? We hit for 100,000 with that critical. We hit 27,000 with that critical. 17,000. Like our damage isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Another 100k hit. So I just spam nukes for the most part. And when she needs to, she mezzes. That's how I play this character for the most part. And I tried charming. I ran into mobs I couldn't charm. It's just how frustrating. I do a lot of Gribbles missions where you have to kill, X number of things, and there's not much overlap on that, right? There's usually one extra mob. I guess I could charm that, but I haven't even tried it. It's more frustrating to, charm something and then 2 minutes in it breaks, or it instantly breaks, right? And you're charming a mob, that's hasted and it's hitting you for 12k. She's undergeared as could possibly be. She's still wearing House of Thule tier 1 stuff, right? With a few extra items that I found along the way. So she's not going to survive. She instantly dies most of the time if she gets hit. Sometimes she doesn't because the mercenary can be fast enough or something, but for the most part, the way I play this character as a box character, I don't charm. In my other series, Boomergar's Travels, where I play the Enchanter as the main character, I try to charm every once in a while with that, but again, it's just frustrating to try and charm past Classic and Kunark level of Everquest, pretty much. Let's see here. So let's see. My burn is, of course I didn't name it. It's Twin Cast, Spire, and whatever those two were. Something that gives us bonus. I think it's like the projections and something else. Calculated Insanity gives us more damage on our nukes. The short-term buff duration. So this is this Azure Mind Crystal, right? If we don't have one, can we make one real quick? Yes, we can. So this Azure Mind Crystal is right-click, harvest mana. It's 3,000 mana. I do it on cooldown, you know, just to get that mana back whenever we want. Plus I cast 10, which is that rune to kind of boost. So this is this button corresponds to my druid casting damage shields, short duration damage shields on my tank. So they kind of buff each other at the same time. Come on, right click. There we go. So for my mez macro, so as I said before, X target 4 is my current target that I'm fighting. But anything else beyond that, so from X target 5 all the way to X target 19 is going to be another target that is a loose mob or a mez mob. So I can just assume that X target 5 is the next mob that's going to be mezzed and just cast 6 on it. And I do the same thing for X target 6. And then for AoE mez, I target my tank and then AoE mez everything around him. And as I said earlier in the video, I mostly AoE mez. I don't even bother single targeting for the most part. Here's my charm macro when I was trying to charm. So I would set X target 19 as whatever I was going to keep as a pet. If you read online, there's like the reverse charming where you charm something, it gets beat down and stuff like that, and then you charm something else and have that kill the pet. That's just like a lot of extra work when you can have a mercenary that can complete heal your pet and it'll never die. So, like, I don't know. Like, I go for the easiest path of resistance, and having a pet being healed by my mercenary is that least path of resistance, right? And speaking of pets, I do use the summon pet, and you can kind of see here he's hitting for thousands now. He's pretty decent damage. So with that in mind, right? Like, I'm not really losing much by not charming. This pet here is fully controllable now at our level. Like, I can send him in, he fights, he does his thing. I could help him out with let's say I mean, he flurries now too. Hitting for 1084, so that's pretty good, I think, right? Holder hits for 5,000, he hits for 1,000, so he's not as good as like a real player, or, you know, maybe a charm pet or a mage pet or a beast lord pet or a necro pet, but it's damage I don't have to think about because he hasn't died. Like, this one might not even be the current level one, right? What level is he? He's 93, so whatever the last was. So whatever the last one I got, like, I haven't had to recast it because he doesn't die. Unless I die, he does not die. That's how useful he is. He gets all the buffs from the group too, so he's got the 8,000 point damage shield. He's got all that stuff. He's just a formidable little guy. Just keep him around, you know. It's good. I can't see all his buffs. Let's do this. Drag that out. I hate levitate. Flight of the Falcons is so dumb. And he looks kind of cool, right? He's got a sword and a stein. I mean, he's got to be a good guy at that. I could probably summon like mage stuff for him, like with one of my mages, and make him a little bit stronger. But it's just not even worth it. Not even worth the effort. But yeah. So that's all of those. Mass buff, tranquil buff. Those just allows me to cast my buffs on everybody around me. Eldritch Rune. So I cast this on cooldown. So this is probably the only way she does not die. Eldritch Rune here at the top. Absorb 100,000 damage. That is kind of what keeps her from dying. So it gives her like 181,000 hit points. Which is plenty of time for the healer to start reacting in the, you know, however these mercenaries work, right? So It's very useful to keep on. It's got a 5-minute recharge, so I just hit it on cooldown. Make sure it's always refreshed and topped off. Very good. All right, and then I just cast it, but I have slow macro, which is I do the AoE helix and then I do the single target. Right? They have different cooldowns. So let's Tash. I took Tash off my bar. Here, let's do this one. Bite a Tashani. There we go. That's an AoE Tash. But it's there. So I can do slowing helix again, and then he's slowed, right? And you know, I don't really like I feel like I'm a bad player at times for not slowing, but I feel like slow is overrated at the same time. I feel like I don't need to slow a lot of things. Like the only things I do slow are named, or anything that's hitting me for more than 10k at this point in time, right? So like most trash mobs are hitting me anywhere from 8,600 to 9,000, and names are hitting me up for, you know, up for about 12,000. So a 12,000 hit, you know, that's, my tank can usually take it, but it's not as nice, right, as like getting hit for less. So slowing, the cripple that comes with the slow and all that stuff is nice to have. And I'll try to do that on names, but for trash mobs, unless I need to for some reason or not, I don't even bother. It's just a waste of, it's a waste of time, because mobs don't live long enough to worry about it at this point. All right, so that's that. That's all those. There's just veteran rewards. You can get those in the veteran special area right here. They're all down here, like whatever you want. My teleportation, so I have Gate, Origin, Throne of Heroes, my Stein to go back to Plane of Knowledge, my Campfire, and my 2 guild teleport anchors from the loyalty member, vendor. Loyalty vendor. Alright, what do we got over here? Gather Mana is fantastic. I use it whenever I die. Gives me back a bunch of mana and lets me kind of start buffing and stuff immediately. So if typically what happens is I'll do a pull with my paladin, right? And I'll do an AoE mez on that, and something or other resists, and it attacks the enchanter before I can do anything. Like before I can get an AoE taunt out or anything like that, something bad happens and they just straight up kill her. I instantly res her back with the Druid using Call of the Wild, and then I use Gather Mana to get her mana back, and then I can then try to lock things down. It's a very complex process and a lot of window switching, but it works out pretty well. Let's see here. Dire Charm. So this is a charm ability on 46 and lower mobs. Permanently charms it. On 100 and lower mobs, it will give you a 6-minute perma charm every 45 minutes. Not exactly that great in my opinion, right? If you're trying to kill like one thing, maybe, but it's just better to have use the other charm, because it's going to break. You're not going to kill anything in 6 minutes solo, probably. Unless you're like a necromancer or something. Alright, Illusions of Grandeur. So this is a burn ability. Just increases our everybody's damage, everybody's critical damage, spells. It's just fantastic spell. I haven't figured out where to work it into my burn cycle yet. I'm thinking it's going to go in like Someone burn 2, but I'm still trying to think of that. We got Beguiler's Banishment, which is a kind of like a knock 'em back root kind of thing, and then another push 'em back kind of thing. So it's some crowd control. I don't ever use them. I'm truth be told, I play as it's a boxed enchanter, so I don't ever go over here to click on those kind of things. We have Knockambobulate here, which is just a mesmerize. It's a 6-minute reuse for a 3-minute mez that slows the mob. Could be useful, I just don't use it. So it's just how it is. Like, I don't use it. Same here with the beam, which just mezzes 8 mobs. I should use it. I should put it in my... I should figure out how to get these into my single target name as macros. And just cast that, and then cast the AoE one, see if it works. This sounds like it'd be pretty good. Roots everything, does everything you think you need right there up to that. So definitely seems like something I should use, but I just haven't used it yet. Then I have an agent of change macro, so targets the agent and just says all his phrases so we can zone in quicker. Same here with Gribbles, targets the Gribble and says all his key phrases to get us in. And then we have Orator Unity. So if we click on this, it just casts Ward of Mastermind and Shield of the Dauntless. Shield is just our normal, you get as like a level 1 shielding buff, and then Mastermind just has a chance to mez things that attack you. It's happened every once in a while, but doesn't happen enough to really think about. I think we missed this one, Mental Contortion here. So this just reduces your target's base melee damage and deals 2600 damage every 6 seconds for 3 minutes. It's a 9-minute recast, probably something I shouldn't spam on every mob when it's on cooldown, but it's a box character and I wouldn't hit it otherwise. But yeah, I think that's everything for the Enchanter. Her gear is terrible, as I said earlier. It's just terrible gear. Hopefully I'll fix that at some point. Probably at 106 she'll have conflagrant gear, because I'm doing all the Overseer stuff to get material for that so that they can make it. And I'm making it with all of my Necromancer, so definitely where we're going with that. So she should have that gear, which will level set her because she's way under geared right now. But that's kind of how I played the box Enchanter. I'll have another video for my other Enchanter, Viva, who's a little bit lower when she gets into a little bit higher to where it actually matters on how some of this stuff goes. But this is how I play a boxed Enchanter. If it's terrible, let me know. If you learned something, let me know. If you got some tips that I could use to better myself, let me know. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.